You're live.
We are now live. Welcome everyone. It's I, Arnold. I'm no longer at the apprentice. I'm here at the trading dome with Dex. He's the algo-capitalist, so hear him now and believe him later. Dex, how are you?
Hi, I'm Dex, the transgendered capitalist. It's great to
Ah,
be
that's
on your show.
great. You are a black. You're gay. And you're Jewish. Yeah,
Yes, that is correct.
that's good. We're bugging out, guys. What's going on? It's V and Dex. It's another Terrordome. Um, And it's Tuesday. A lot of things going on, and you can follow Dex on his website, PulseScan. You can check us out on RogueMoney.net. With that being said, buddy, Dex, what's going on, dude? I'm losing it today, boy.
You got it wrong. You said pulse scan. It's pulsewavetrading.com,
Oh,
knucklehead.
that's very sexist of me to say that. I apologize.
Hey, don't say sex to me. I am the transgendered capitalist.
I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. I forgive me for saying that, bro.
Actually, we're just having fun, folks. You don't get it. Gold is being smashed by the central banks right now, and we're long the paper.
Yep, we're
So we
long
are
on
loving
paper.
it. We are loving life. If you're a stacker, this is a great time for you to get some more physical at discounted prices. If you are using your stack and
Mhm.
have to be forced to liquidate because you need to raise capital, you are hustling backwards. You should be long the paper with the rest of us today in the Black Ops trading room. Then you wouldn't have to liquidate your physicals. You'd be making money on what the banks are doing. So smash, gold, smash.
Smash it away, man. What else is crack-a-lacking in the markets, brother?
Well, let's see here. The Dow, the S&P, and the Nasdaq are down just slightly. A little bit of profit taking. Market's taking a little breather. It's been running up here for like forever.
Yeah.
So basically, it's a time to position yourself to get long the Nasdaq. You probably won't get a fill until possibly maybe tonight, tomorrow ish. The big news is Friday with the economic reports coming out. So everybody is just kind of like chilling on the sidelines, and that's about it. Not too much to really talk about in that regard. The big news, though, is what's happening in healthcare. I think that Wall Street and the White House listen to Rogue Money. I think they listen to the Terrordome because what did we talk about last week? Show of hands. Anybody remember? Healthcare.
That's right.
And what are they talking about on CNBC all morning long? Healthcare.
Healthcare.
That's what's
That's
up.
right. CNBS was talking about healthcare all day, every
Yep.
day, because it's a big issue, man. Once you get into those healthcare stocks and what's going on with the healthcare market and with these insurance companies and whatnot.
It's all a farce. We all know this. All you have to do is get the government out of the way and let the free market enterprise, and everything will be good. You just need a few controls in there as far as to prevent fraud and price gouging. I'm not saying price fixing. We just need to do away with price gouging, and I think we'll be good to go. That's the big part here.
Yeah, yeah.
So once that happens, then I think we will be in a better place as far as the society. Just take away the government controls that hinder free market enterprise and that hinder competitiveness within that space, and I think we'll be good to go. And also do away with the whole bait and switch thing that Obama's presidency did. What we talked about last week with this whole idea that okay, well, we're not going to deny you if you have pre-existing conditions, but we're just not going to pay for it for at least a year. So they get to collect free premiums for you, which is just so backwards. It's whack in so many ways. So once we do away with that, I think they come up with an idea that allows everyone to be able to get health care, all right, with affordable premiums. And then at that point, you can create what is called competitive pricing. Like right now, healthcare is like the only industry where there's no competitive pricing.
Yeah.
There's no price model. Dr. A may charge different for an office visit than Dr. C, who charges way less than Dr. Z. And there are no rules.
Hmm.
It's like just the wild, wild west. It's not like when you go into a McDonald's, you get to see the menu, and you get to see the prices associated with the menu. When you go to a doctor's office or a hospital, there's no price list.
No.
Everything's just whatever they want to charge you. And
Right.
if you got insurance and they participate, certain insurance companies will allow them to bundle and unbundle. For those of you who don't know what that is, that's where you take what is called the CPT-4 codes and the ICD-9 codes. ICD-9 codes are for diagnostic um, reasons, and the CPT-4 codes is the code that the doctor or hospital will use to get reimbursed from the insurance company. All right. So what happens is you have a lot of rampant fraud within the whole Medicaid and Medicare system.
Right.
What happened was, and this was like back, especially like in the late 80s, all the way through the 90s, you had what is called truncated codes. Truncated codes is when the doctor would bill one code and then he would have a bunch of codes stuffed in there. And so, for instance, if I were to go in for surgery today, let's just say to have like what's that knee surgery? I can't think straight, but anyway, it's a common knee surgery that people get. Anyway, what the doctor may do is say, you know what, I'm gonna charge you this price to open you up. Then I'm gonna charge you another price to fix the situation. Then I'm gonna charge you another fee to
close you back up.
All right. So Medicaid and Medicare got hip to that and said, you know what? We're not going to do these truncated codes where you bundle and unbundle everything together. And so that's when Medicare started to fight back a little bit. Now, on the flip side of that, what did happen was this: they allowed you to bill pretty much whatever you wanted to, and they didn't have the resources to go in and to fact check your bills. And the reason for that is because a hospital bill is totally different than a doctor's bill. They do have what is called standard forms. For instance, HICFA, which is was it Health Something Finance Corporation Association something. Can't remember what it stands for, but anyway, your HICFA 1500 is a red and white standard bill form that where the doctor goes in and he can list all his CPT-4 codes for the procedures that he does, all the ICD-9 codes for each diagnosis, and if there's, and it's a universal form. You put it on there, the machine prints it out, boom, and you would stuff in an envelope and mail it to the insurance company for reimbursement. When the mid 90s rolled around and the internet started to be built up, then the doctors could send it electronically. Blue Cross Blue Shield was one of the pioneers for allowing that to happen, where we could just push a button and everything would be sent over to them electronically. Well, the problem came like this. The insurance companies realized that the doctors were pretty much getting away with murder. They could bill whatever they want, and then the insurance companies, based on the type of coverage or plan or contract that the doctor had with the insurance company, could get paid lots of money, way more than what they should be.
Yeah.
So what they did is they said, okay, look, we're going to go to each state. The insurance company said, we're going to go to each state and we're going to renegotiate so that we can put a cap on this. So the state said, you know what, we need these insurance plans in our state, and especially the medically underserved areas and states where they don't have that many doctors per resident living there, what have you, or that many hospitals, what have you. And what was happening was the insurance companies said, hey, you know what, we found a way to take over this whole thing. So the insurance companies demanded certain things, or they would say, we would not do business in your state, right? So without going back and forth, lobbying Capitol Hill, they got their way, and the office of the insurance commissioner in each state got less and less authority and power. And because of budget cuts, they only had sometimes 2 agents in each office to manage tens of thousands of people. And so it was like a Mickey Mouse thing. It was ridiculous. So along comes all this new legislation, and what Obamacare did was turn all of that on its head and then expanded it and made it worse.
Yeah.
So now you have basically the 1960s all over again,
Right.
where the doctors charged whatever they wanted and the insurance companies just paid it. So a doctor could charge you $10,000 for an office visit, the insurance company would pay it. And a lot of people didn't have insurance, so guess what? They would just pay out of their pocket. And the doctors loved it. They charged whatever they wanted. Boom. A lot of doctors got mad rich. And so that's where we are today. Well, the question would be, okay, well, then how do we fix it? Okay, here we go. The way you fix it is to give the power back to the states and take it away from the insurance companies, because the insurance companies control everything now. When I say they control everything, I mean they dictate even to the doctors how to practice medicine, telling the doctor what to do and how to do it. One of the first insurance companies that actually came out with a manual on how to treat a patient when they come into your office from start to finish was none other than, drum roll please, Kaiser Permanente in California. They were the first to dictate to doctors how to practice medicine. And I'm not kidding. When I say they had a manual, we in the office where I worked, we had a manual, and this manual told the doctor, okay, the patient comes in saying they have a headache. These are the questions you ask them in this order. They said, do this, do that. Then based on the person's answer, do this, prescribe this medication. And I'm dead serious. And if you didn't do these steps, as indicated in your office notes, because doctors had to dictate notes in the patient's file.
Yep, it's called the
what
SOAP
would happen
note.
is they would say, nope, we're not paying for this. And there was nothing the doctor could do because he was under contract with the insurance company. So in some ways, it was good because it regulated how much a doctor could get paid from the insurance company. Not how much they could charge, but how much they would get paid. So it didn't matter if you charged $1 million for a procedure or an office visit. The insurance company says, according to our contract with you, we only pay you $23 per office visit.
Yeah.
So a lot of doctors start dropping out and say, we're not going to participate with Medicaid anymore, because Medicaid was the first one to only reimburse doctors, you know, tiddlywinks. But that didn't stop the fraud because they found a way around it. Here's what they did. Hospitals figured out that most insurance companies don't have the wherewithal or the staff to go through every line item of medical records and bills for the hospital. They just get the grand total, key it in the system, and then cut the hospital a check. No, no, no. The insurance companies got slick and said, you know, we realized something here. You're billing us for things that the patient didn't get. For instance, you're charging us $10,000 for pills, but according to the medical notes, it only says the patient received 2 pills. Now, we know it's $40 a pill, but based on our calculations, it's $80, not $10,000. I'm here to tell you, to this very day, it's still going on. Hospitals still overcharge patients for services not rendered, especially during an inpatient visit, because they know that chances are the insurance companies are not going to have the wherewithal to catch it. Call it fraud, call it whatever you want, but I'm telling you, it goes on right now to this day.
Yep, absolutely, man. Absolutely. It's it is a racket, and it has to be overhauled completely, man. I think and I mean, how bad is it's racketeering, bro?
Well, it is on both sides, though. You know, the insurance companies are not the innocent people here, because they're the ones that made it so that if you don't participate with them, you can't eat.
Correct.
Because here's how it goes. Okay, say you're a specialist, all right, V, and I'm insurance company Knucklehead Enterprises, and I tell you, you know what, V, I see you're new. You're just coming out of medical school. You got your little practice going. You're trying to build your clientele. Well, you know, I have 2 million customers that are insured. I can steer some of that your way, sir. and your eyes are bugging out like, wow, 2 million people. I know I can, if I work hard, I can probably see 30 patients a day. You're doing your math. You're like, oh, I'm rich. Yes, I want to participate.
Mm-hmm.
And then we send our representatives to your office, and you look at the fine print, and now you're starting to scratch your head and say, what? So you're saying I can only do this many procedures a month or a year before it sends up a red flag to you?
Yeah.
So you're saying that as an orthopedic surgeon, I can't take my own x-rays? I have to send them out to one of your lab buddies? What? That doesn't make any sense.
Mm.
So what ended up happening was, depending on the insurance company, especially the smaller ones that are trying to compete in the space, they would say, you know what, Dr. V, go ahead and take your own x-rays. It's okay. We'll go ahead and write and add a rider to that you and only you can go ahead and do that, since that's what you requested.
Right.
Boom. That's how it goes. So the way to fix all the foolishness is to let the doctors practice medicine and let the insurance companies process
Right.
the insurance claims
Yeah.
in that order. And you
Right.
need to staff the Office of the Insurance Commissioner with enough people to go around and do their job, because there's no way that 2 people can visit every hospital in the state and every doctor's office in the state. All right, you can't audit. You can't do a job like that. You need more people, and you need qualified, trained people to go in and to do that.
Yeah.
And now, because everything's so out of whack now, it's going to be hard to rein it all in, because now everyone's just basically a glorified drug dealer. They're just writing prescriptions. They're not really treating or practicing medicine. It's not
Yeah.
about curing anything anymore, curing disease. It's about managing a patient's comfort. Because in medical school now, you know, they're teaching that the body cannot heal itself.
Right.
And that's why they're producing medication to do that. Now, 50
Yeah. I
years
mean,
ago, it was the opposite. They taught that in medical school that the body
there's
could
nothing
heal.
wrong with that. You and I both know that, when I have when somebody gets cancer, it's because their body's deficient in chemotherapy, man.
Exactly. And it's funny you put it like that, because that's exactly. All right, look, I don't know about you, my man, but check it out. When I'm driving around, I'm noticing it used to be, you and I, we from the big cities and stuff. So, on every street corner, there's what? A liquor store in the hood, right?
All the
Well,
time.
guess what the new thing is now on every corner? It's not a Walmart. It's not a McDonald's. You know what it
What is it?
is?
What?
It's a chemotherapy center, a cancer treatment. They keep building more facilities. I'm
Oh
not
man.
exaggerating.
I
So
don't know whether to laugh or cry. That's
they're
horrible.
building these beautiful, big, huge medical centers, and it says on the sign something such and something something such and such cancer treatment center. There
No,
are
that's
more
great.
cancer treatment centers, dude, than there are Boys and Girls Club facilities.
Are you dying of cancer? Is your kidneys eating your body alive? Do you have a tumor growing out of the side of your face that looks like a cauliflower? Is there a weird stench emanating from your body? Then you need to go to the Wilhelm Schwartz Cancer Center of America.
There you go. That's what it
Dude,
is.
that's crazy, man.
So you should tell you something, what big business it is. Think about it.
Oh,
If
racket,
you are investing tens of millions of dollars in these cancer treatment facilities and dialysis centers, that's telling you, that means you're expecting a boom
yeah,
in this, right? A boom.
yeah,
You're expecting to make your money back in droves. No way in the world you're going to invest $10 million on a cancer treatment facility and not make your money back.
right.
So that should tell you something. It's wrong with the whole pharmaceutical industrial complex. Okay. Not only that, but what do they know that the average citizen doesn't know? Reason these things are propping up all over the place, because they're expecting an explosion in cancer rates. So that means that if they're expecting a steady influx of patients, there has to be someone or something that is guaranteeing you that traffic.
Hmm.
Just like they're not going to create weather modification futures contracts to be traded on the exchanges, but not available to the general public.
So you're saying the cancer exchange is about to start?
That's what I'm saying.
I wouldn't be down it. They're going to come out with a medical disease index, the disease index, you know? That's bound to happen.
Well, they're doing something to make people sick, and then they're not treating them. So it's just ridiculous what's happening right now. The only way to reform it, in my opinion, is to basically try and convict everyone associated with the whole medical industrial complex and the military industrial complex. That's what we need to do. But one thing that came out in all of this too is that, do you know that the president has vowed to increase military spending more than any other president?
50 billion.
Dude, there's something going on that is just not right. It doesn't pass the smell test, my man.
Well, it's actually quite simple. I asked my buddy W about it, and he said, well, it's what you'd want to do if you want to start rebuilding the economy. You start increasing military spending. It gets it creates the types of jobs that allow people to buy houses and homes. It's kind of like what Reagan did, and that's from an old Cold Warrior who knows something about the markets, because he ran the whole entire Russian ruble hyperinflation scheme that they used to help bring down the Soviet Union. So that makes sense. I mean, it sounds crazy. First, dude, to be honest, my radars were flying. I'm like, what the hell is he doing increasing the military? Is he going to start World War III is my first question. But then you kind of realize where the money's being spent.
So yeah, it just doesn't make sense. It just doesn't. And then this push for even more vaccines. And then we can't ignore, Bill Gates talking about if you can vaccinate more people, then that brings down the whole population. You and I both know.
Bill Gates is a loving man. What are you talking about?
There's no way mathematically that is possible. What? That's like saying the more games that the Washington Redskins win, the worse their record is going to get. It doesn't make sense.
Yes.
You feel me? So that right there is something that people need to look into and deal with as well. And the president has so much on his plate that I just don't know if we're going to be able to battle that. You feel me?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. No, there's a lot of chicanery going on, man. It's like total war, bro. It's like it's unbelievable what's happening in DC right now, man. I mean, you saw the whole Vault 7 WikiLeaks dump, didn't you?
No, I did not get a chance to peep that.
It's pretty savage, man. It's pretty savage. It's nothing that we don't know already. Like you and I, guys like you and I and CJ, we've all been sitting around here. We're like, yeah, okay, all right, Julian, tell us something we don't know.
Right.
But I mean, this is the first time that Joe Public is hearing stuff about this. Like, what do you mean they could hack my car and have like an untraceable assassination on my life? Kind of like Michael Hastings. Remember what happened to Michael Hastings with his car? They hacked his car.
Oh yeah,
Mercedes accelerated from 0 to like 100 and hit a flagpole.
Yeah, that was just terrible, dude. And again, no one is brought to justice.
No, that's what I'm saying.
None of that stuff.
And dude, this is what I'm kind of getting pissed off at. And maybe I am becoming a little too impatient, dude. If I don't see an arrest in the next 3 to 6 months, I've had it, dude.
Hey, hold on one second. I gotta change headsets. I don't want this to die on me. Hold on one second.
All right, you do that. I'm gonna go change my underwear. Just kidding. CJ, jump in. It's the perfect time. You can get off your mute button now, CJ.
Can you hear me now?
Loud and clear.
Can you hear me now? Well, yeah, the whole thing with the, Dex hit it out of the park in terms of the insurance and the reform that's needed. You look at the history of whether it's the insurance companies that are, taking a beating from the hospitals, and the hospitals, overcharging. And there's been a lot of Medicaid and Medicare fraud as well that you have to factor into that, V. I mean, it's both sides of the table, and something that, that people aren't talking about, and I believe in patients' rights, but also the tort reform that's needed in these, liability attorneys that are running around and suing all these doctors and everything. And trust me, if a doctor screws up and a hospital screws up, yes, a hospital should pay up, but at the same time, some of these doctors, and especially in That's why doctors can't have these smaller offices anymore, because they can't afford the malpractice insurance anymore that's required because of all these liability attorneys running around everywhere.
Right, exactly. Exactly, man. You know, it's unreal what's going on. It's quite terrible, man. You know, thing has to be overhauled. And overhauling it is not coming out with some half-baked measure of Obamacare light, like we talked about, you know, this morning, and what Dex just recently spoke about as well.
Yeah,
Dex,
yeah.
are you back? Go ahead, CJ.
Yeah, no, I was gonna say, you know, exactly. You know, it's gonna take a lot more. And I watched a lot of the news today, and a lot of the speculation was around. Well, you got to remember, they're just presenting this to the conservatives in a manner knowing that they're going to have to give other things up to satisfy them, to get them to come to the table and vote for it. Well, guess what's going to happen? You know, once they implement, you know, some of these things that you know we advocated for, as far as deregulating the
Can you hear me
insurance.
now?
There he's back.
Yeah, I've been
You know,
experimenting with a Bluetooth wireless thing, and you know what?
oh, I love my wireless
Busy,
headset.
I always forget to charge it.
Sounds like BB.
Yeah, it sounds exactly like CJ. CJ in the morning before we get set up, he's like walking around the house and, you know, grabbing coffee and whatnot. He's clipping left and right. I'm like, dude, what is that clipping? I'm on my wireless. I'm like, oh.
Yeah, but no, Dex nailed it. Yeah, in terms of the insurance and everything that's taking place. But I'll turn it back over to you guys.
Yeah, there's another thing I wanted to note too, with this whole insurance thing. If the president's going to be successful, he cannot allow the insurance companies to write the legislation, to write the policy.
Correct.
Because that's what we had before with the whole Obama thing, forcing people to take the insurance, penalizing them, taxing them. That's just whack.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So he's going to need to make it so that it's voluntary. All right. Because put it this way, there are wealthy people who say, I don't want your insurance. And I'm healthy. If I get sick, I can pay and afford to take care of myself. It's all good. I don't want your insurance. And so you're going to penalize them and make them get insurance?
Yeah.
I think not. Okay. So my whole thing is, you can't force an adult to do anything. What happened to autonomy and right to choose? All right. You should have the choice of whether, as an adult, you want to do something or not. As long as you are not, impeding on someone else's constitutional rights or freedom, what you do as an adult, if you're not harming anyone else, should be your own prerogative. A person should have the choice of whether they want to live or die. So if they're told, look, you need this operation, you're going to die in 12 days. Okay, I have a right to say, I want to do it. I have a right to say, you know what, forget it. I've lived a good life. I'm ready to go. Yeah. Not have the government force me to take medication or a procedure that I don't want. All right. So,
or if you're terminal and you're in a hospice, you know, they're not going to like ring up your insurance as last minute, just to, you know, start harvesting your body and, you know, start ringing up your insurance, and, you know, when you got like just a couple minutes to live, man. I've seen that happen all the time, where you got a patient who's terminal, and the first thing they do is the person's in the hospice. Here we go. Let's ring up their insurance. Let's see how much money they got left. They figure that out, and they all of a sudden, oh yeah, they go to the family. Yes, we have this experimental surgery, can quite possibly help alleviate the situation that your loved one is in. And then they go ahead and absolutely ring them up, and the person dies, man. It's disgusting.
It is real critical. I have to change topics just real quick. As we speak, gold is hitting a new low.
All right, where we at?
And so is the bond market. Now, it should be noted that bonds, the
want people to get the stocks, man.
Yeah, the Fed funds rate is already factoring in pretty much, you know, like a 95% chance of a rate hike this month in March. In addition to that, the bond market right now is hovering right at a new low. This is drastic because this also tells you, even without the Fed funds rate, that, remember, lower bond prices equal higher yields. There's no way to stop that from occurring. All right. So this guarantees that rates are going to go higher. All right. The bond market seems to be slipping along with gold at this point. Gold is now at 12, 14, 10, and the momentum is starting to pile on. It's been a slow, like extended drip today, a slow bleed, but the momentum is gaining strength. And right now, if we were to close here, gold would be in jeopardy of closing below a major support. And right now, we're looking into the abyss of the 1100 range now in gold, which is significant. I can't tell you how big time that is. It should also be noted that there was some type of a flash crash or something in Bitcoin. I don't know. I've said it before. You know, if it's a market, it can be pimped to some degree, especially if it's thinly traded. All right, you can push prices around. Just look at Snap.
Yeah.
Like my video last night. Oh, Snap. You know, Snap is being destroyed. It's at $20.64 a share. And this is after coming off of a high of $29.44 a share. You're down almost $10 in this trade. If you're long from the high, I don't know what else to tell you. There's nothing there's no encouraging word I could give you. I did warn people to get the heck out in my video last night. And if it was on my radar, I would have shorted it myself, but I've been trying to fry some bigger fish. But it is definitely a short, and right now it is attractive. The only thing is you have a gap that you've built today in Snap. So at some point, the market's going to have to bounce back to fill that gap, but that doesn't mean it's going to reverse trend. So I think this is just the beginning in that situation. Now, as far as this debt ceiling thing, man, like I told you before, they always get to this point, and then they always raise the debt ceiling. Period. There was only one time in my recollection back in the mid 90s, late 90s, when they closed the federal government, and they did it, I think, a couple of times. But the bottom line was at the end of that, when the dust settled, tens of thousands of government workers were either forced into early retirement or had their jobs phased out altogether. They rolled other agencies into other agencies and created new agencies. So I'm just saying, you don't want the government to shut down.
Yeah.
I mean, I know there are people say, yeah, it's too big and bloated anywhere, but you don't understand. There's some goods and services that will not happen. You just don't want to see the government shut down, because government being shut down is showing signs, number one, of weakness, and number two, of instability. And as far as the economy is just too fragile to start playing those kind of games. Back in the 90s, we could do it because the economy was booming on all angles. All right, not just the stock market, but the economy was breaking bad. All right, people were enterprising and getting good jobs and making money, and boom, it was the place to be. We don't have that right now. You know, we got a booming stock market, but we don't have the strong economy to go along with it, and we don't have this big tech boom. So because of that, and not having booms, for them not to raise the debt ceiling would be catastrophic. They have no choice but to keep raising that debt ceiling until, hopefully, prayerfully, President Trump can turn things around by lifting the shackles that are restraining free enterprise right now. So if he can be successful in doing that, then it shouldn't matter if he has to raise the debt ceiling again.
Yeah.
Just go ahead and raise it, do what you got to do for now. And then as you get the economy booming again, then we can, pay down the debt and do other stuff that we need to do. It can be done.
Right.
It's been done before. In my lifetime, I know there was one time where there wasn't a trade deficit, but there was a surplus. I do remember that. I can't remember the actual year or how old I was, but I do remember hearing that there was a surplus. So I don't want to hear it. It can be done.
What else is on your radar?
Well, the next thing that's on my radar right now is the U.S. dollar. U.S. dollar.
107. Here we come. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm telling you, it's holding right now. It's hovering between that 102, somewhere around the 102 range. Once it can get a solid close above 102, I think it's going to run to 106, and I think inevitably Bitcoin is going to run to 1,500.
Yep.
I've been saying that for months now, and it's happening. So Bitcoin managed to close above that special 1150. So 1150 now is support for Bitcoin. If everyone's ever wondering where is support in the Bitcoin, the support in the Bitcoin is at 1150.
Yeah.
All right. Closes below 1150 will be catastrophic for Bitcoin, because then you're going to come back and retest that $700 low and crash below that too. Same thing with the dollar. Failure for the dollar to get a good close above the 102 would actually cause it to be smashed down too, and for instability to come within the global markets, which they're doing everything in their power to keep the dollar afloat and keep it strong. They're failing to keep the bonds afloat, though, and that's done on purpose because they want to raise those rates. They have to kind of give you the idea that everything is okay. The only way to prove that is for them to say, see, look, I just smashed my hand. See, it's not bleeding. So if they smash, but let the bonds, let a little air out of the bonds a little bit, raise those rates, they can still raise cash by smashing the precious metals and letting that money flow back into Wall Street, and they can keep this thing going. It's ad infinitum. It's a juggling act, and they've gotten very good at it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, someone asked a question. What happened to the change in the algos that you mentioned a few shows back? Miners getting crushed. Yeah, that's what I was saying. Remember when I brought it up, I said there was a major algo shift happening in the global markets. That's what I was talking about. I was saying that, you know, the price action was starting to look interesting, and that we were at a major crossroads. And I do believe, I think I did give you guys those price levels to look for, and those levels unfortunately got taken out. It's still not over with yet. Just because we're correcting here doesn't mean that these prices aren't going to come rip roaring back again. It's just a short-term situation. So right now, like I say, gold, if it closes here, which is technically the pit session has ended, so we are closing here, but the electronics still trade into like 5.15. So technically speaking, the next support is around the 1206, 1204 level, believe it or not, and then the psychological support of 1200. We got to close above that. We cannot close below that. I can't stress that enough. A close below that would send gold crashing. We may get one of those $100 days that we haven't had now in a couple of years, where gold moved $100 down in one day. So 1150, even below that is possible if we close below this 1206, 1204 level. So just be mindful of that. Just it's setting up a wonderful opportunity to pick up some more of the metals on the cheap, but you do need to hedge, and you do need to be long the paper right now.
Yeah.
Anybody else got any questions?
Now is the time to ask.
Yes, now's the time. The academy is wide open, man. Open for enrollment. We got mad tutorials and webinars up there to teach you about the markets, teach you about trading, and all that good stuff. Things that you will not learn in your economics class at Harvard, things you will not learn in your business school, things they won't teach you as you're getting your MBA, things you will not learn in finance class for you finance majors. You will not learn this anywhere, not in any trading book, anywhere, nowhere. Want to know why? Because it's coming directly from me and my experience working on the street and in private practice for myself. So you can't find that in any book.
You mean to tell me my theories of economics 101 from school is not going to help me?
Not at all. I do. If you guys remember, I did give a story about that, about the economics professor who was long the euro, even as the euro moved $10, or should I say 1,000 pips against him.
And he's still long the euro, I assume.
Yes, he was wrong. And my buddy was like telling him, "Yo, man, my boy says that this is a big short. It's in a bear market. It's only gonna go lower." He was saying, no, your friend doesn't know what he's talking about. I'm a professor. I've written 100 books. Blah 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 blah. Well, he was wrong. He got decimated. Look at the euro today. That's all I gotta say. Look at the euro today. You tell me. Here we are at 106. At one point, wasn't the euro like 160 or something like that? 140.
Yeah, it was like almost 160 at one point. It was like 148.
And now here we are at 106. Come on, man. How do you go from 160, 140 to 106 in Park? That's all I'm saying. It's a dog now. Bow Wow is hosting.
Bow Wow's hosting. Oh man, that's funny. Anything else, people?
I see one more thing. It says, question, I want to get in on your trading service, but work full time, can't stare at the screen all day. Do your services tailor for people who can't devote 100% of the time? Absolutely. That's why it's called the weekly pulse wave price triggers. So it only requires maybe 5-10 minutes of your time a day. And that is it. That's it.
Right.
So come see for yourself. That's what I say. Come see for yourself. Don't take my word for it. Come test drive it. Get into the classes and learn what you need to learn so you can make some money.
Absolutely.
And provide a living for you and your loved ones.
Oh yeah, and protect your stash. You
got to protect your stash, man. Come on now, you know that. Right now, they're hell bent on price destruction of the precious metals.
Yep.
So we have to be smart and beat them and outsmart their algorithms. They think they're hurting us, but they're not. You know, say exactly. you're setting on. All right. Well, here's a question here, Dexter. Do you think it's possible that silver starts having $2 days and then $5 days and then $20 days? Well, it depends on if we have some kind of economic instability or some type of outside force that would put that kind of fear and panic into the people. Algorithmically speaking, there's no cause for that to happen right now, especially since now we're bearish and losing momentum fast. So there should be no reason to see that happen, like I said, outside of some other event or something like that. You mentioned Cliff High and the WebBot thing.
Uh-huh.
You know, I'm not knocking nobody. I'm just saying, you know, I don't see that in the algorithms. What I see in the algorithms is what the market is showing me right now. Maybe the market can turn. Maybe by the end of this month, he may be right, and it could be going gangbusters. We just don't know what the catalyst is for those type of movements. Just like when I said a while back that I saw 1,000% increase coming in these precious metals in the mining sector. Well, I still stand by that. I don't know what the catalyst is going to be. I can only tell you what I saw in the price action at the time that I made that that prediction. But until we get there, you got to trade what you see. So I trade what I see. Right now, the metal is falling. So you want to be on the short side of things, not the long side. And as far as stacking is concerned, this is a time for you to build up your resources and buy more.
Absolutely.
Oh, someone asked, where's the trend line in gold from 1204 to 1206 drawn from? Again, it's not a trend line. Those, it's not a drawing. It's not a trend line. These are intraday support resistance areas within the price action at any given time where there was a lot of how can I say, buying, selling, whatever. So these numbers that I'm giving you is intraday price levels. You will not find that on a chart because it's based on intraday price action. Any other questions? Well, okay. Well, see, I try my best to answer all the questions in the chat room. Oh, as far as volume, no. You probably want to go and watch my video on volume. I did that a while back. I don't know what the title of everything is, but it was a while back, and I explained how you really can't use volume anymore because volume is artificial. Ever since they got the dark pools up and running, the volume that you see is just unreliable. It doesn't mean anything. I'll end with this. when you look at volume today, you have to treat it like a COT report, commitment of traders report. People like to look to use that when it comes to gold and silver. I'm gonna let you in on a little secret. As a broker, you use that to raise more money and use that to get more trading revenue for yourself out of your customers. Rookies use the commitment of traders report. Rookies use volume. Back in the day, yeah, all the professional guys used volume because it meant something. But after the invention of dark pools and algorithms, the thing that hurts you and makes that old news is because not only can the algorithms trade at 100th of a second or the speed of light, literally, but what happens is you don't understand or know, no one knows why a person has on a position. They could have a huge short position on that looks short, but it's not. It's to offset a long position that they have, or vice versa. That's why the commitment of traders is old news. By the time it comes out, it's old. It's old news. Just remember that. It's a lagging indicator. All right? So remember that. For anything else that you want to learn about these markets, like I said, that you will not get in a textbook, come over to postwavetrading.com and learn something. Come learn something. As far as GLD, I don't know what that LF stands for, but the GLD follows the gold futures, the question in the room. GLDF, not sure about that. I don't know what that is. I think I've seen it before, GLDLF. Oh, that's a ticker. Okay. That looks like some gold mining penny stock thingy, and it's bearish too. It's getting hurt. It's bearish on the momentum. On the daily chart, it's looking like it's about to head lower. You would have thought you would have got some support on the weekly chart, but it's not. This needs to close above $1.42 on the weekly chart in order to put an end to the current downtrend. On the daily chart, as of today, right now, you're looking at a close above 133 in order for this thing to turn around. Failure to do so would bring in more selling and push you back down to new lows in this particular stock, GLDLF. Let's see. Do I need a trading platform for your services, or can I just trade with my brokerage account? You can trade with any broker you want. My favorite, my personal ones, and I don't get any, kickback from saying this or anything like that, but my personal favorite is TD Ameritrade by way of Thinkorswim or Interactive Brokers.
I love Interactive Brokers.
Interactive Brokers is the man.
That's my favorite.
I've been trading with them since they first came out, off and on. And the only downside for some people is that you got to have a minimum of 10,000 to open. Other than that, though, their platform is top notch, bar none.
Probably
them and Thinkorswim. Yeah, they're better than Thinkorswim in my opinion. They're better. Yeah. They are better. Let's see.
And if you got set up right, man, you could actually get you can buy positions in overseas stocks as well.
Yes, Interactive Brokers is good for you international traders. For those of you who are located overseas, it's the perfect one for you because they will allow you, like V just said, you can trade U.S. shares and things of that nature. Knick-Knack Paddywhack right now is also in a downtrend. That's ticker symbol NAK. I call it Knick-Knack Paddywhack. That one is selling off also. It's in the mining sector, so it's getting hit. It's getting treated like it's a mining stock today. Right now, you're at $1.20. You're falling through support on the weekly. And right now, it looks like this market wants to run back below $1, possibly down as low as maybe anywhere from, I want to say 80. Well, let's make it 78 cents to $1.02. And you're at 120 now, so you're not too far away. And momentum seems to be pulling you to the downside on this one. You got some support around the $73 range on that. But this is one of those, just like we talked about, I think it was last week, V, about all the political stuff coming around with NAC. And I had a guy in the trading room who broke that thing down. He really gave it to us in one of our webinars. So it was awesome.
Nice.
But I'm telling you from personal, this is just full disclosure. In one of my accounts, I do have a small position in NAC, about 100 shares. NAC is one of those stocks that we like to play around with. We just love it. NAC is one of them. Dry ships, DRYS. It's JNUG. one of those stocks that we like to play around with. We don't put a whole bunch of money in it. We may only do like 100 shares at a time, just to hold some and watch it go to zero, basically. It's just fun. You know, you have fun with trading. You trade to make money, but we also have fun. So NAC is one of those that we trade in and out of. And right now, at this cheap price, I do see it looks like it wants to go lower. I'm a buyer of it. I'll buy it all the way down to a penny. I don't care. I'm just having fun with it. It's just one of those sexy stocks we like to play around with. And it's one of those lottery ticket stocks, too. You don't know what's going to happen. If all this news comes out and says, oh, you know what, all the news about NAC is bogus, here's the proof, and then this thing jumps up $30 the next day, you're going to be happy that you had at least 100 shares in that stock. That's all I'm saying. Do I cover options trading? Yes, I do. In the academy, I go over options. You will learn very fast, though, that I hate options. I can't stand options. I trade them as sparingly as possible, but I will use them when the occasion deems it necessary. Oh, heck yeah. Well, I will use everything to my disposal. But options, if I can go straight shares, I go straight shares. If I can go straight futures or trade the Forex outright, I do it. I don't ever, under any circumstances, do any kind of options on Forex. And as far as on the futures, I try not to either, unless I'm what is called jacking the trade. If you want to know about jacking the trade, you definitely need to come over to the academy and learn what that's about. Jacking the trade is a special trade that you do at special situations and special times where you're guaranteed not to lose any money. Even if you're wrong and the market rips your face off per se, you still walk away with some money in your pocket. I'm not kidding. So if you want to learn more about what that is, you need to come over to postwavetrading.com and peep that. Other than that, folks, like I said, the mining sector is bleeding. It's going to do this for a minute until it doesn't. Once it stops, then we accumulate more shares and have fun and ride it back up. Just right now, it's telling you it's not ready to rally yet. So we teach that before they boom a market up, they crash it first. That's what's happening now. All right. So they're crashing it because it's getting ready to rock and roll. So you just have to wait for that and be patient and find some things that you can short, which we call getting long the paper, such as your inverse ETFs. And learn how to do that. Come on over to Post Wave Trading. We'll show you how to do it.
Absolutely. And with that being said, guys, I think that's it for the program, bro. You did great.
Hope I didn't hog up too much of the time.
Dude, it's what the Trading Terrordome's all about, bro. It's all about you sharing your ideas and talking about the Terror Trading Dome. You know,
I try, man. It's just I just get used to it. You know, when I because this is what we do in the trading room all day. People ask, about their positions and hey Dex, what are you in today? And I'll say what I'm doing. They say, okay, what do you think about this? And that's a service that I offer also throughout the day where it's for free. There's no additional charge for that. You tell me, hey, what do you think about this right here from the list that we're looking at, and I'll tell you what I think. I'll give you an intraday stop, tell you where you should get in and get out at, all that good stuff, because we're a family, and that's just how we roll.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Oh, man, you hear that? You see that, right? You see that? This is a waste of time. There are no markets, only software and charts, no price discovery, no value, no markets. It's all fraud. This is a waste of time. You're better off creating your own business and investing in that instead of these suckers bets or just gamble away your money. It's more fun. Well, I will say this, sir. What better way to raise money to start a business than to make your money in the market?
Crickets.
I'm just saying, and no, this is not like Vegas. You can approach, even starting a business can be a gamble.
Yeah, it's a bigger look. Your average business in the United States has a 90-some-odd% failure rate. 90-some-odd% of businesses do not even survive the first 5 years.
Now that's out of business school right there, and you're absolutely right. Hey, you hit the nail on the head, my man. You know what I'm saying? And
so what's the guy gonna do who's like in he just doesn't, he can't leave his job where he doesn't have a tremendous amount of money to go invest in a business, but he's got maybe a couple $1,000s that he saved up, and this is extra money lying around, not as life saving. For God forbid. I mean, if you're tight on payments, you got bills to pay and whatnot, it is not for you to go ahead and start playing in the markets. No, but You know, if you got cash lying around, you got, you know, some spare money you want to have some fun with. I mean, why? I mean, why go work a spare job working at like friggin' the Macy's department store's you know, perfume aisle, you know, spraying perfume on everybody when you could actually learn how to trade and make some additional money. Look, the market's up. Look, here's pretty interesting, man. I'm gonna be very candid. I was talking to a client earlier today, and he said this. Well, I'm gonna have him come on the radio and discuss this because I gave him a month.
Okay.
You know, he's put his money into the market,
Mhm.
and he's gonna run it. He's like, look, I started listening to you because you're the only ones that don't fear monger.
Mhm.
You're the only one that's been saying for years now, Dow 29,000, here we go. When everybody else was saying, you know, head to the basement, bust out the cat food, the market crash next Tuesday. When everybody's saying that, and this is somebody who's lost a significant amount of money by buying gold and silver when it was high, and then seeing everything vaporized. And I'm gonna have this gentleman come on because I told him, listen, just do this, run these trades for a month, and if you make a profit, he goes, V, I want to pay you. No, dude, don't pay me. But if you make a profit, take a percentage of the profit that you wanted to pay me with for my advice. I don't want any payments for any advice. Take that money and let's go pick a charity and give it to the charity.
Right.
And I'm gonna have him come on. This guy's he's a business owner. You know, and he's in our age, and you know he's a business owner, and the way he speaks, very intelligent, very articulate, and you will see the truth. And this is somebody who's decided to put skin in the game and watch the difference that it makes.
Right.
And just the small things that he's done by changing his paradigm and getting back into things, utilizing everything and being pragmatic enough to utilize everything to work for the betterment of his financial future, to see the position that he's in now versus where he was just a few years ago, where everything was getting hammered.
Right.
Okay. That's why you got to be pragmatic. Yeah, the market's bullshit. Me and Dex are not here telling you, hey, the markets are legitimate. No, every week we make it an absolute point of letting you know this is horse shit. This is magic mirror. This is all smoke and mirrors, pomp and circumstance. All of it.
Yep.
And that's why he's called the algocapitalist, right?
There you go.
But the point, what I'm trying to do is get you off your ass, learn something, right? Dex ain't saying, hey, come trade with me. I want to be a portfolio manager. No, he's saying come and learn how to trade, empower yourself. And if you start with Dex, you learn how to trade, then you could develop your own, your own trading, methodology.
Correct.
Find out what works for you, and engage the market. In other words, we're trying to demystify the markets.
Right.
We're trying to dispel the fear here, because there's a lot of people that are so fearful, they're so mystified by the market that there's I don't want to get involved. It's all computer manipulations. Yes, you're right. So why are you resistant to it when there's money to be made?
Exactly. They're throwing money out of the helicopter. Why not take some of it for yourself? Why not add? I don't know anybody, including myself. If someone came to you and said, you know what, total stranger said, you know what, V, I know you don't know me, but this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to put $100 into your bank account every month for no reason. For the rest of your life.
I don't want it.
No, I don't want it.
I don't want it. I don't want that fiat in my account. Don't give me that fiat currency. I don't want it.
You know, if you pass a $100 bill on the ground, you pick it up.
No, I'm not going to pick that up. That's a fiat currency. I won't pick it up. This is printed by the Federal Reserve. Do you know who the Federal Reserve is? It's a private banking entity. It's about as federal as Federal Express. Do you know about the creature from Jekyll Island? Do you know about J.P. Morgan, Rothschild, and the Rockefellers? And you know about all them guys, huh? This is all fake.
Yes,
I don't want to pick that up.
Money and put it in my account. That's how I look at it. And I'm trying to tell you, man, look, that's what this is.
Don't be married to a paradigm.
Right. And if someone's offering you a chance to, you can put some money in your pocket, you'd be a fool not to, especially knowing what's going on in the economy. All right. We're not stupid of the enemy's devices.
Right.
We know what's going on. All right. We know what's going on. And this is the only thing that I know. I'm doing what I know to be the best opportunity to create an income for yourself. Right. Am I guaranteeing you success and millions of dollars? Nope. What I'm saying is, here's an opportunity so that you can have that opportunity to make that a reality. That's all I'm saying. But yeah, starting a business for yourself, V hit the nail on the head. The majority of people who start a business fail within the first 5 years. Now, I'm gonna tell you one of the reasons why, because they're not. Most people don't know this. V, if I tell you, man, I don't know how to cook, but yet I'm gonna open up a restaurant, I'm gonna fail. I'm gonna fail.
Right.
Unless I have some type of management experience, especially running a restaurant, and or I have some kind of culinary experience, I have no business opening a restaurant because I'm going to lose money. And even if you do have those skills, even if you are experienced running a restaurant, even if you are a chef, that still does not guarantee you success in that space. Restaurants are the biggest losing investments.
Oh, it's a murder,
period. Bro. They have a like 99% failure rate within the first year.
Right.
More than any other business. So all I'm saying is you got to learn how to play the game and stick with what you know. Most of the people that listen to your show, they are experts in something. Well, guess what? There's a segment of sector in stocks that cover more than likely what you're an expert in. You can specialize in trading those vehicles because you know them. And you can
I don't want to
trade
those vehicles. They're fake vehicles. They don't exist. Who makes these vehicles anyway? Is not Ford? Is it GM? What vehicles are you talking about? Are you talking about one of those Tesla vehicles? I don't want to deal with that. It's fake. It's not real.
Look, unless you know how to approach something, no matter what you do, it becomes a gamble. You're gambling because you have no kind of guarantee or reason to expect success.
Right.
That's why you have to know how to navigate waters. I can't just open up a shop and say I'm a surgeon if I haven't been to medical school and don't know the first thing about anatomy. I'm gonna fail. I'm gonna kill people on the operating table because I don't know what I'm doing. I haven't been schooled or taught. That's the same thing with anything in life. All right, you have to be schooled. You have to be taught. You have to be discipled. If someone is offering you that, why not take it? No one offered it to me. I had to do everything on my own through the school of hard knocks and trial and error. Nobody gave me nothing. No one taught me nothing. I had to do it myself. And I fell on my face a lot. And I had to learn what I needed to learn. All of it's necessary so that I could be where I'm at now and teach others to do the right thing. That's all I'm saying. So I'm off that soapbox. V, take us away.
And with that being said, you can check us again next week where he is the market maven, the algorithmic alligator, the one and only Dex the Vulcan, formerly known as the Vulcan. And I am the majestic ape. I gotta come up with some more catch lines here.
I like mine.
The silverback.
Silverback is good. How about this? You'll be the transgendered economist. And I'll be the transgendered capitalist.
That's great. That's just fantastic. And with that being said, guys, hey, take it away, CJ.
Peace.